This is the most capable dual screen laptop that's ever been built. This is the Asus ZenBook Duo 2026 edition. It's durable, it has a great battery life, and the performance is second to none. This is something that you can truly take on the go as a creative professional, whether you're doing video editing, photo editing, you're getting into code, or you're running a lot of large language models for your AI work. This handles everything that you need on the go. This is not going to replace your dedicated workstation with 128 gigs of RAM and a RTX 5090 GPU, but this will edit 4K, 120 frames per second, 60 frames, 50 frames, 30 frames, or even 6K BRAW footage on the go. It is quite impressive, and in regards to how you work with this device, the ergonomics are fantastic. For me, I'm always looking to get my screen up, to have my shoulders back, to have it at eye view, to have my keyboard at the level where my arms are sitting parallel to the desk so I can have good posture, since I spend 8 to 12 hours a day behind a screen, depending on how long my work days tend to be. Usually up towards the 10, 11 plus hours a day is where I'm at right now. So I need something that has great battery life, that has the performance I need, and provides me the ergonomics so no matter where I'm at, because I tend to be on the go more than ever with devices, this laptop suits my needs. Big shout out to Asus for sponsoring this series on the ZenBook Duo. Super grateful for them for sending out this model, letting me take a look and check it out. Awesome to have such a great partner like Asus. Definitely give them a shout out in the comments for all the great innovations they're making on these products lately. Now that was a long intro, and I'm gonna jump into the performance benchmarks. This is the Creator Edition review of the Asus ZenBook Duo. Now first and foremost, let's jump into form factor real quick if you're new to this device. As you saw, we had the screen on the bottom and the top. The keyboard sits right inside over the top bottom display, and then of course the nice, sturdy, durable aluminum hinge folds into the bottom, and the top screen folds neatly on top of the keyboard, and you have a normal, pretty thin and light laptop that is truly nice and light. Not the thinnest, 2 screens and a keyboard mashed in there, but it is a equally light laptop to your common Ultrabook. Now, this laptop does have solid port connectivity. We have USB Type-A, Thunderbolt 4, and on the other side, an additional Thunderbolt 4, as well as a charging port for the keyboard in case it's not hooked in and charging directly on the laptop, an HDMI, and a headphone jack. So good port connectivity on this device. Something I want to point out is the hinge is redesigned for 2026. Watch as I open up the laptop. The hinge folds into the body of the device, into the chassis, and it comes out. So no more of the dual hinge where it's literally rotating around the device, and then it has a really thick bezel between the 2 screens. So if I open up, you can see the 2 screens. They're very close together, especially compared to the 2025 model, and I'll show you a quick comparison of that within the B-roll. A lot of people wonder, does this laptop have an upgrade path? And it actually does. If you lift up the fin, the stand on the back of the device, you can see these 2 screws here. You pop those screws off, and you have access to an M.2 drive. You cannot upgrade the RAM, but you do have access to an M.2 drive, so you can expand your storage very easily. The speakers are also something that's been upgraded on the 2026 model. Here's a sample of the audio for you so you can hear for yourself what it's like. Definitely a nice bump in the quality of the audio on the 2026 model. Now let's dive into some benchmarks so you can check out what this thing's really capable of in regards to the creator workflow, and then we'll check out a little bit of pen compatibility. I'll show you how the pen works with the device. Now first and foremost, this thing is actually pretty capable of 3D modeling. Now, I would not go out and sell your workstation, as I mentioned earlier, but if you are on the go and you receive some, CAD files or 3ds files, whatever it might be, you would be able to pull those in, look at them, maybe make a few little edits, and the machine will be able to run that well. So that was really cool to see. I ran my classic Spec 13 benchmark. You can see the results coming up on the screen for Autodesk 3ds Max, PTC Creo, Autodesk Maya, SolidWorks, the whole gamut. You can see that this thing is able to run them. Shifting over to Photoshop, this is one that I was really excited about. For the Photoshop benchmark, we saw a 9,266 on the charger. That's on par with the best of the best in regards to gaming laptops, and the best from the latest AMD chipset that I am quite in love with, as you guys know. It's the chip that can be found in the Asus ProArt PX13. We are neck and neck with this Intel Core Ultra X9 processor. Now, what's even more exciting to me in this regard is when you unplug from the charger, you're still maintaining an 8,820 on the Photoshop benchmark, meaning that Windows has finally crossed that threshold for when we unplug it from the charger, it does not drop the score or the performance so drastically. That was something that we've been seeing for years, that if you wanted to get the full performance out of the laptop that you were using, you had to stay plugged into the charger, which to me kind of defeats the whole purpose of having a laptop. And so this was a big moment for me with Intel kind of stepping into that and being able to provide that within the ZenBook Duo. Moving on to some video editing benchmarks, we can take a look at DaVinci Resolve. For the 4K to 4K export, it's a 9-minute 4K clip put in DaVinci Resolve and export at full quality 4K settings. That took 2 minutes and 26 seconds. Great result. Same thing, but for 1080p, 38-second export time. So like I said, wow, this thing is showing us that we can be on the go and still have great performance. Now moving on to the Premiere Pro. For the 1080p to 1080p export, you can see about 1 minute and 21 seconds. And then from there, we have the 4K export, just under 4 minutes. And then the one that really stands out to me is, of course, the BRAW export, around 15 minutes and 31 seconds, meaning that I personally, who edits BRAW footage, can take this thing on the go and have a quality editing experience on battery and on the charger. So if I'm on a plane, I can keep editing and the footage will not be too heavy or too robust for this machine. It is going to be capable. And I have a full video running all kinds of different resolutions and codecs, and you can actually check that one out at the end of this video if you want to see like Sony H.264, H.265, 60 frames per second, 120 frames per second, 30 frames per second, 6K, all that. That's a full video, so you can check that out. But for the simple test, we saw a 4K with 0 drop frames on this thin and light laptop, and I even threw in some 6K BRAW footage, and I saw 285 drop frames. That is fantastic. This, again, was only possible with dedicated GPUs just a few years ago, and now to think that we have a on-the-go laptop with dual screens, and it is 6K BRAW editing capable, I'm very excited. And I try not to be too excited because people are like, you're just being too excited about this. For me, this is something I'm going to use on a daily basis because I love the productivity enhancement with the dual screens, and that it has the performance I need is awesome. Now, if you're curious about the exact pricing and availability of the ZenBook Duo and different models that are available, you can head down in the description below and click those links. If you do make a purchase, I will get a small commission, but at no extra cost to you. But of course, that's what keeps this channel alive and the helpful content coming your way. Okay, now as promised, I'm going to shift to using the pen on this device. Okay, now one thing that stands out to me about using the pen on the device is I can use the pen on the screen and it does not push the screen down when I'm using the pen. So let's go ahead to draw here. Nice thin stroke, nice thick stroke, but you can see the screen really isn't moving that much. It's very nice and sturdy. I can even grab this, pull it down here. Now I can draw down here if I so choose, have my files up here. So a lot of flexibility on this device. And then of course my keyboard, I can either set it here and use my shortcuts, which is nice because it's just kind of out of my way, but still where my hand would naturally rest if I was using this. And I can go ahead and just quickly erase what I made. So it really creates any sort of workflow, how you like to work. If you like to have your hand resting over here, you can just put your keyboard over there. And just very comfortable way of working. That's what I like about the dual screen and the detachable keyboard is it fits for really anybody's ergonomic oriented habits. And that's a really nice thing that it offers. So again, hit the space bar, move things around, stop, draw a little bit, move. Yeah, I don't like that, Command Z. So it's just a very comfortable device to use, especially in regards to creators that are using their devices in many different ways. Let's talk about the battery life, something very important to myself as a creator on the go, and I'm sure to y'all as well. This laptop has performance, but it also has battery life. Now, if you're using a single screen with the keyboard set on top, you can get 15 hours of battery life for productivity, around 16 hours for streaming video playback, and then we can get around 6 hours of Photoshop work and just under 6 hours of video editing work. Really nice. Now, if you want to run dual screens, you're going to find yourself at about 10 hours of battery life for productivity, 11 hours with stream video playback, about 4 hours for Photoshop, and then 3 hours and 24 minutes for video editing. So still great battery life results, but if you're gonna be video editing, especially if you're doing some heavy video editing, bring that charger along with you. I cannot see for a true creator who's using this heavily, having that all-day battery life, wanting to give really realistic results. But if you're jumping in to do a little bit of video editing here and there, and then mainly doing some productivity on the go, this device really knocks it out of the park. And for me, 3 hours is really solid. Most laptops I use, whenever I'm traveling, it ends up being about 2 hours of battery life. I noticed with the PX13 from a couple of years ago now, I was kind of sitting around the 2 hours to 2 hours and 20 minutes of battery life, and so that this is up around 3 hours. We are seeing some improvements on the battery lives that are happening here in 2026. Don't forget to click or tap the screen here for more videos if you want to help with your buying decision. Check out all those codecs and frames per second, or head down in the description below, click those links, check the live pricing, see if this model is right for you. If you do make a purchase, I'll get a small commission, but at no extra cost to you. Of course, that's what keeps this channel alive and the helpful content coming your way. I'll see you in the next one.